We have some updates on that hilarious pride fail we talked about last week. Hello everyone, I am Mecha Random 42, the one and only, the original, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy. Been yelling on a few other videos. I don't think we're going to be yelling today, we're going to be laughing and mocking. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, for reference, we did a response video to the individual, I think, that they're going to be showcasing on the front of this article here. I was going to say the cover of this magazine. I'm old, I'm a boomer. I don't actually watch this channel and haven't since the 80s, you know, when they're taking kids in front of firing squads and feeding them vomit.
Ready? Oh, wait a minute.
You know, the good old days when you get slime dumped on your head when you didn't know the answer to a question. Nickelodeon ratings crash amid an LGBTQ plus push. I do have to drop the B of the alphabet anytime I talk about the gay stuff. As you guys know, I am somebody who will point out that the LGBTQ community does not have a clear set of rules and instructions that every single member follows. And if you don't, you kind of get looked down upon. And if you don't follow the little, oh, well, we have to use the proper and the correct and the this, and we all think this way, we all vote. No, we don't. No, we don't. And anybody who thinks that you do or we do is part of the quote-unquote cult that is trying to destroy and ruin everything by separating and segregating everything into little marketing categories. For all we know, I don't know, it could be that or it could be some grand global takeover. For all we know, I kind of like to go the more sane way because going the tinfoil way is a little scarier. Now I'm going crazy and I'm thinking that they're watching because they probably are. Nickelodeon's ratings crash. So this is the drag queen who was singing about the Pride song. Great for her. Happy to be in a day and age where we can do this without being completely shunned and excommunicated. That being said, there is no reason to shun and excommunicate people for thinking differently at all. I thought that the whole point of making a big fuss and fa and to-do about all this stuff was to kind of bring everybody who used to be kind of down here up here. And now it's like people are here. They're like, no, you said this thing 20 years ago. We're going to stuff you away and we're going to oppress you back. And that's what it feels like to me, and whether or not we're going a little tinfoily on this one, who knows? But the Daily Wire is blaming the ratings crash on Nickelodeon due to an LGBTQ plus push. They are citing Pirates and Princesses for their source, so we're going to actually just pull up their site. Viacom struggles with Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon while Disney pulls away. This was from June 11th. And this breaks down basically some ratings tank, like viewership tanking, since July of 2017. So this isn't just in this month that they're talking about. This is all from July 2017. Nickelodeon's viewership has dropped from 1.3 million average viewers per week of June of 2021 to 372,000 in only 4 years. Well, what's been happening in the last 4 years? Something, the dimensions shifted, and pretty much everybody sane who came over from the Berenstain Bears dimension got plunked into this Berenstain Bears dimension where everything is clown world, isn't it? It's real. And I think something happened. There was like an electromagnetic shift, or somebody went back in time and stepped on a butterfly. Something happened. And I think it was around the time of Pokemon Go. What happened around the time of Pokemon Go? Ghostbusters 2016. There was some sort of politics ball thing. Did Orange Man Bad win? I don't know. Did he win again? Who knows anymore? I don't really talk politics because when I do, I yell and I go crazy and people want to correct me. In only 4 years, Nickelodeon has dropped more than 2/3 of its audience. This is a catastrophically bad thing for the cable network. But with cable on the way out, maybe it's not so bad. The catch here is that, in fact, that bad and perhaps worse simply because does that make sense? Am I reading that incorrectly? If I'm missing a word, I'm not seeing it. I've gone over this like 3 times. Nickelodeon, it seems to be the primary driving force behind new subscribers to Paramount Plus. People weren't even subscribing for Star Trek Discovery or Strange New Worlds or any of those. And now they're pushed on to something else. Is it still on Paramount Plus? I don't even remember what they're on anymore. They keep changing streaming services. And I talk about Star Trek constantly. I think it's because it just broke my brain. or we're shifting in between dimensions. Something happened and it's all wrong, and we're gonna fix it. Stay with us, we're gonna fix it. Viacom says its original programming content from cable brands and Paramount movies drove almost half of the Paramount Plus subscriber engagement, and globally Nickelodeon programming was even more significant. Even more of a significant factor in the signups and engagement, and that's from the Wrap. I'm assuming Star Trek isn't doing a whole lot for Paramount Plus. It's thus easy to see why Viacom is leaning so heavily onto Nickelodeon content. Perhaps it's hoping to capitalize on what once worked. So they're trying to drive nostalgia, the article says, but there are signs that Viacom has not learned any lessons. It is now retooling this. Oh, this is what they did with Star Trek too. With the same principles that resulted in Nickelodeon's huge loss in ratings, even with a show about infants. Much of the headlines have been about a retconned, now lesbian character. Oh, no, I didn't know about this with the Rugrats. But then again, like I said, I don't care. Oh, they're changing Betty. She was always a feminist. Phil and Lil's mom, she was always a feminist. But she was just a man-hating one. That kind of makes sense. Oh, she's now a gay single mother. All right. Well, I mean, they could write into the show where she just came out after using her husband for sperm or something. I don't know. All the news is about the grown-up stuff about of course it is. Of course it is. As a kid, I didn't care. But then again, also as a kid, I was listening to like Gwar and watching Skinamax. So don't go by me as an example. I'm kind of an awful person, and I'm okay with that, and I'm aware of it. But then again, not everybody has the constitution to rant about everything on YouTube. All right, so we got a few factors here. Let me skip back over to the Daily Wire article. They're talking about one video that sparked outrage and depicted a cartoon version of a drag queen, Nina West, singing about various LGBTQIA groups loving each other so proudly on Blue's Clues, and You, a show for 2 to 5 year olds. I've said this time and time again, I think drag queens to little kids just look like circus clowns or people playing dress up. I don't think they assign grown-up ideas into this stuff. I think a lot of the time it's going to be the parents saying, you know what, I don't want to really let my kids into a world they might not be ready for. Kids are getting younger and younger all the time mentally. You have people who won't even marry until they're in their late 30s now. For the first time, right? You have people who won't leave their ancestral homes. You have a lot of people who really won't grow up very quickly. And we kind of stay longer as far as, yeah, I'm still playing video games and I'm way, way too old for them. Now, I don't have kids, but I can put myself into this mindset of what I would have done when I saw this. And the biggest comparison is with the environment and the rainforest and Captain Planet and recycling and Earth Day, all right? Or religious stuff. You know, they wanted to promote the PMRC and indoctrination and all this crap in music. And then they started bleeding into schools with the creationism versus evolution. And anytime you're trying to preach to me something as fact, based on a bunch of theories and beliefs and a bunch of this other stuff, I would turn it off, right? I would turn it off, no matter what your message is, whether it's science or what. I would turn off any preachy sort of message when I'm going for my entertainment. I also did that when everything got super political in the 90s. Everything. You'd have Bill Clinton on MTV talking about boxers or briefs or whether he inhaled weed or not. Everything got super duper political in the 90s. I turned a lot of the mainstream stuff off. So I think a lot of people don't realize that it's actually been there for quite a long time. For quite a while. We had a lot of this shit, this political or PC. I hate using the term political correctness stuff and ignoring all of the other issues here, because that's what it really, really feels like to me. I don't know if they're actually trying to do any LGBTQ LMNOP pushes any more so than they have. Because when you look at the Phil and Lil article here, she was already a man-hater in the 90s. She had the wham and power symbol right on her chest, or the woman symbol. She was already pretty over the top then. And that might have been why I didn't watch so much Rugrats. Plus, they were a bunch of babies who were completely ignored and neglected. But The biggest thing I can say to any parent who has any problem with anything that their kid is seeing is, why the crap are you letting your kid watch something you don't want them to watch in the first place? Right? Get involved. Know what they're up to. Know what they're looking at. I mean, you guys do. That's why you're actually noticing this stuff. Is this appropriate? I don't know. And like I said last time, bring back the firing squads. I am Mecha. I'll see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.
Ready?
Now, wait a minute. Stop the execution.